Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And just yesterday, at day 2 of the Summer Championships, we had the first ever sighting after it was like, I think 16 hours of broadcasts across 2 days where Tobika played a mini set card. That's right, there was only one mini set card played from at least the starting deck. There was one that was discovered at one point. But yeah, this mini set has landed like not at all, even competitively. And we are expecting a balance patch this upcoming week. So I thought it'd be time. Let's talk nerfs. Let's talk buffs, because something's gotta give, right? Like every deck at this Summer Championship has just been a deck that's like half a year old. It's pretty crazy outside of Quest Warlock. So we're gonna go into that. Enjoy the content on the channel. Feel like I've earned your subscription. Please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like as it helps the channel out a lot. So yeah, I saw this on stream. I just thought it was so funny. And by the way, after he played it, the next turn he immediately died. Big Banner Face rolled over him and then won the entire series. So I'm pretty happy that Choose My Champion is still live. By the way, Summer Championships will continue today. I'll be on twitch.tv/Theo, co-casting it with him on his channel. And there still is a drop for one more pack if you want to get that, which will be live on the Play Hearthstone channel and on Theo's channel as well. If you look at the front page of HS Replay, which is not that useful, although they've changed it now. I had someone point that out to me on Twitter. It's now sorted diamond through legend, so it's not across all ranks on the front page, but you can see the meta in terms of class diversity. It's not too far apart, like 44% or 45% at the bottom, 52% at the top. You look at the meta and you don't have a ton of newish decks, right? You do have like arguably the best deck in the game, Quest Warlock, which is a new deck, and of course people are starting to hate on it already. But then mostly after that, you're looking at like Pain Demon Hunter, Leech DK, Cliff Dive Demon Hunter, Bandage Priest. I guess the Wilted Shadow is a newish deck, but OTK or whatever. Beast Hunter, Fire Act Rogue, you get the deal. It's a lot of the older stuff, but you also see, look how many competitive decks there are at like tier A, tier B. There's lots. And if you're looking at this from a Blizzard perspective, you could easily see them like they did with the patch before the mini set. Be like, you know what? We're pretty happy with how balanced the meta is. Sure, quests are all near the bottom right here, and Quest Rogue hovering around a 31% win rate. But hey, at least there's plenty to play if, you know, it's not mostly just older stuff mixed in with Quest Paladin, which I see Reddit threads on every single day, which I don't think has a chance of getting nerfed, despite the fact it's very hated. And yeah, Quest Warlock, everything else, not so much. Quest Warrior hovers around there, but it's not even really so much a new deck as it is like Terran Warrior with the quest in it, right? So there is plenty of room for buffs. There's room for some nerfs. If we look at card popularity right now, Elise in over half of Hearthstone decks, Zilliax again, despite being nerfed like what, 7 times in over half of decks, and people are calling this like the Dragon slot package. I'm sorry, they're just really good cards. Ysera, Fire Act, and Naralax, all standouts, right? So let's go into what could possibly get changed on both a nerf side and a buff side, because I think we desperately need both. And the reason I say desperately we need changes is just never been staler. People seem just completely uninterested in Hearthstone. Like there's just nothing new. I had so many viewers during the playoffs like, oh, it's nice. I went away for 5 months and it's still the same decks. I even tweeted out, you know, it would be nice if every single esports event that somebody didn't have one of these decks in their lineup, right? Spell Damage Druid, Starship DK, or either Cycle Rogue or Fire Axe style Rogue, like the whole Sandbox Scoundrel. We've seen that like constantly. It's never ending. And yeah, I think the armor gain for neutrals, Ancient of Yore, or you know, both of them, Ancient of Yore and the Defense Crystal, right? They just give way too much armor to classes that shouldn't have it. It's just weird to see Warlock with like 100 armor or Deathlight with over 100 armor. It just makes it so you can never kill them unless you do something absurd. And it's just been warping the meta for so long. And I think a lot of us would love to see changes, whether it's Defense Crystal to be when you just launch, you gain the armor, restore health, or just go up in mana cost till it's like just not that super playable because we've been facing these decks for so long. So yeah, the Defense Crystal, I could see that happening and Ancient of Yore could go to 6 mana. Maybe it gives you less armor. Like, something's got to give. It's just, I feel like a lot of us are pretty sick of it. And these are cards I actually really like and I've enjoyed playing, but it's time for a change. It's time for a shakeup, right? We've been doing the same stuff for so long. The only class to be brought by every competitor at this the Summer Championships is Rogue. Arguably, Rogue the best deck in the game, whether it's the Firac kind of scam part of it. There's 2 Rogue cards that stand out to me. No, they're not Step and Prep because they're just never going to touch those, so why even bother talking about it? Is Metal Detector. This was a 2/2 originally, and having it buffed to be a 3/2, I just hate that it always punishes you for playing minions, and then they get the coins, and then on top of that they can cheat out Sandbox Scoundrel even sooner, and then with the mini and Step you're all of a sudden able to play like Firac and 9 drops and all that as early as like turns 4 and 5. There was one game yesterday where somebody, they didn't do it, but they could have played Firac and Neralax on turn 4. They could have done it because they had the weapon, they had Shadow Step, and they had the Scoundrel, right? All that stuff. It's just absurd to me. And to me, one of those cards should change. To me, Sandbox Scoundrel has been around since Whizbang and should just be cost 2 less for the card. But then again, that would probably kill it. It's a weird one. Like, any change to this card probably kills it, but it's just been, at least something at higher legend, been driving me crazy forever. And again, you could revert the buff to Metal Detector, give it to 2 attack, make the weapon 4 mana. One of those changes I could see happening just because Rogue is constantly up there, and Cycle Rogue's right behind it again. Cycle Rogue's not far behind, so I just don't know. Rogue is perpetually an issue, and it's almost like 2 cards are always behind it, but I'm just a broken record at this point. I don't know what else to say. For the whole Dragon package that we've seen so much of, I don't think it's that bad for the game, but there's 2 classes that can get Neralax out a bit sooner in Rogue and DK, and then they could cheat out Firac. To me, I guess the only change you could really make, and I don't know if I would make it, I don't know if I would change Firac at all, but the change you could make to Firac is just make it not cast at random enemies, just make it cast period, so you can hit your own stuff. Make the card a lot worse, make it a lot more just like Yogg, but then you end up like fire lancing yourself or whatever. It would probably kill the card. But like, do you hit Neralax again? Do you hit all the mana cheat stuff in DK and Rogue? Probably. You should probably, honestly. That stuff is what's really unhealthy. But yeah, maybe they make Firac not target just enemies. Making it 10 would do basically nothing, right? Or very little, especially if Neralax can make it 1. But I could see that happening. And with Elise being like the most popular card in Standard, however, the only really good card from this last set, I will say the only change I would make to this card, if I was to make any, is to the 1 mana location. Make it so very similar to like the old Kazakus potion where you could get Polymorph. You couldn't get Polymorph for 1 mana. You could only get it for 5 and 10. I would make it because especially at the championships, it was really prevalent where basically everyone's just picking 1 mana and just trying to get copy because the copy effect is so broken at 1. Like, I feel like at 5 and 10, all this stuff is really reasonable. Very good. This would not kill the card, by the way. It would still see play, but I do feel like at 1, you shouldn't be able to get the copy, and that would allow you to get other options more consistently. That's the change I would make. Other than that, I wouldn't touch Elise, and even that, I doubt they would change this card this soon, but I do think that could be something a little bit more healthy for the game. Another deck that is absolutely gross and just has like no counterplay when it works is the whole like turtle, like the Totola Warrior. Chemical Spill is just a dumb card. I'm sorry, it's a dumb card. It was dumb with Unkiliax. It's dumb with Turtle. This should be like 7 mana. I don't care. Like, I just don't like what this promotes, right? You get this out and you cheat out a giant minion, and the whole Mech Warrior thing, they already could cheat out the mech, right? Like, at least have it be that, leave it at that, and have Chemical Spill just shouldn't be a thing. This is how I feel, and I feel like this card could be 6-7 mana, or maybe deal more damage. I don't know, except against Turtle. Does that matter at all? You have to like double the damage, and still, I don't even know if that would matter. I just don't like these type of cards. They're pure scam cards, and they're just unhealthy when you get that down, right? You just lose, especially with cubing in the game. You don't kill the thing, well then they cube it, and then you've definitely lost. So Chemical Spill is a big standout to me that I would love to see get changed. Again, I don't know if any of these cards are going to see change. I imagine we get a couple nerfs like we did with the patch before the mini set. If they do nothing, I don't even know what we're doing here, right? Like, you have to nerf some stuff, because the last thing I'm going to talk about is buffs, right? And the stuff that is behind is so far behind that if you don't nerf something, it's not going to matter. I don't even know if it's going to matter, period. But to me, like, a huge standout to things that, like, clearly could see change is like Reanimate the Terror. This card, it sucks. There's currently a deck, top tier, one of the best decks in all of Standard, right? The Double Unholy Blood deck, where you could play this, complete this quest pretty reasonably. You would never play it because the reward sucks. You never want to play this. It's a 5 mana 8/8. It doesn't do anything. It can get punished, and then your reward is you get this whole location. It doesn't do enough damage. It's slow. Like, what's the point? Like, Corpsicle is just better than this, isn't it? Just Corpsicle, you deal 3 like every turn, and it's 1 less damage for 2 mana, but you don't have to take a break between the durability. Like, I just don't know how this is supposed to be competitive in any world. Like, you can make it even easier to complete. I don't care. I don't want Tyrax in my deck. So it's such an easy buff candidate where at least give it Taunt, give it Rush, give it literally anything, or make it cheaper, just something, because it's just so far off. I don't ever want to play this. Even, again, DK right now is spending a lot of corpses. The whole deck is built around cheating out giants. I don't want to play this. It's kind of wild to me, right? So that's an absolute standout. The Rogue quest, after being unbanned, as you guys saw, around a 30%. You could at least try shuffle 4 times instead of 5, see how it goes, right? It's not going to make it probably playable, but 4 is a heck of a lot more doable than 5. You could give the ninjas Rush, I guess. That's really spooky to me, but at least make the requirement slightly easier. At the very least, the Druid quest is also one you can look at to buff, right? Like, maybe it's just for 2 of your turns. I don't know if that's way too good. That's a lot, right? That's a 1/3 less requirement. I just don't know what else to do with this one, right? It's been far off. It's not there. It's one you could absolutely look at, and I think that would be valid. And then we just look at the mini set. There's just a lot of cards you could buff. Deathlight, actually, I think is fine. Like, if you play Arena, you know this card's insane. And again, one of the big issues, I'm just going to say, just full transparency with the mini set, a lot of these cards aren't that bad on paper. They just have literally no home. There's no place for these cards, right? Like Diabolus Rex. What would you do to make this a card you want to play in your deck? It's a Kindred Demon Beast. You need synergies. You need a demon or a beast demon hunter deck to be good enough that I want to play this. You could make this 5 mana. Hell, you could make it 4 mana, maybe not even change the stats, and you might still, actually, you most likely don't play the card, right? Like, you get a Blizzard buff of a health, right? Or -1 mana, and it's a 5/4, it's seeing 0 play. Like, you can make those buffs, but it won't matter. It won't shift up the meta. And you look at most of these cards, there's just not really a deck for it. Like, Long Neck Egg, I rated really high. I just forgot the key part of what Druid's trying to do. Go wide. This doesn't accomplish that. You could rework it so you summon like 2 minions out of it, but then you're buffing even more. So that's a buff you could do, but like making the stats better on this, not going to change a lot, right? Panther's Mask, again, not a bad card, but what deck is it going into? So we have that issue of a lot of these cards. A key example, like Raptor Nest Nurse, phenomenal card. 1 mana, 1/1, you get a 1-drop, you get a 1 mana spell too. That's great. There's no deck for it. Sees no play. The win rate on it's bad. It's not a bad card. It just has no home. Like, what am I doing with Ankledon? It's not good in the quest. It's maybe if the big beast deck was out there, I could slap this in there, but it's not there. It doesn't exist. So all these cards, like, you could buff almost every mini set card. It's not going to do a lot because none of them really synergize currently with their decks outside of a Firegill, which, by the way, sees play. You could make Heroes Welcome 6 mana, the card would see 0 play. A 6 mana 10/10 that basically does nothing is still bad, right? And if they're gonna buff it, they'll probably make it 7, which is still bad. It helped the Mage Quest out a little bit. So it's really hard to come up with like some significant buff suggestions. I could say just make Ritual of Life literally like the Druid spell. Make it Cactus Construct, make it 1 mana, get a 1/2, get a 2-drop, but that doesn't curve well with the quest, right? So maybe a 3-cost 2/3. That could be something you could do, right? That's absolutely something, because the 2/2 does feel pretty bad. That might actually make a difference. You never know. But Behemoth Mask, like, you can make it 6. I don't think you really care. Atlasaurus, I don't think you care. No matter, you can make this 7. I don't think it would make a difference, but you could do that. Crystal Tusk is seeing play, so you don't nerf that. Costume Merchant, Shadow Step is in the game, right? They would have made this 2 mana if Shadow Step isn't in the game, but as a result, it's going to be 3. So what do? Buff the stats, I guess. Will that make the card playable? Nope. And if they make it 2, well, then they're going against their whole not balancing around step, which they clearly do. So I imagine if this gets buffed, it gets better stats, which again, it doesn't matter because you just don't have good variance on, the mass. They're not overall that great. They're not great with your strategy, so probably doesn't happen. Mirax is seeing a little bit of fringe play just because Fire-Act Rogue is so good. But I don't know, make it a 2 mana 2/2. You could make it premium stats, a 4/3, 3/4, I guess, but I don't think it really needs a buff. Tor Totem, it's supposed to go with the quest deck, but it's not proactive. You might get a useless minion. So maybe you get 2 minions with random minion types. You make it a 1 mana 0/3, a 1 mana 0/4. I don't know. The elemental stuff's not too far off. You could make Stegodon deal 3. Like, again, you could theoretically buff almost every card. You could make Possessed Animancer 5 mana, but the deck sucks. And if it's ever good, well, then it's not really fun because it's a scam deck, because you cheat out this card, which also sucks, which you could make 7 mana. You could give some more stats. You could make the 5 damage go face. Don't hit Bat Mask, because Wild would be very upset, because Wild, this card's actually not that bad, right? And then Warrior, these cards are actually okay. This card actually got brought, right? It's not that bad. However, I would love a bug fix where it actually work if it gets buffed and deal more damage. Guard Duty's fine, and this card, again, just doesn't have a home. It's not a bad card. It just doesn't, there's not a good armor gain deck, so there's just no spot for it. So again, the Egg of Kelos, not great, but it's more of a fun card. You could make the 2020 do something, right? Give it Rush, give it Taunt, something. That could be a bit of a boost. I don't think you make it crack less, because I mean, they made all the artwork, but you could do that. And the rest of the cards, I mean, Taka, give Taunt, give Rush. I don't know. Like, you can do so much, but at the end of the day, most of these cards have no home, and you could buff almost everything, and I don't know if it would make a big difference. So it's going to be a really interesting patch. I would definitely lean way more towards buffing absolutely dreadful cards, because there's a ton of them. But I do think, for the sake of at least freshening up the meta, we should see some nerfs to the top performing decks, because if we don't see that and you buff a bunch of bad cards, the bad cards are still going to be bad, and we're still going to be stuck facing the same old deck. So we'll see what the approach is. We should find out this week, and should be pretty telling, the direction of the game going forward, because it is just very confusing right now. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Let me know your suggestions in the comments down below. Have a great day. Make sure to get your drops. We're getting co-casting over on Theo's channel. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.